Ratas, ratas amorosas de mi vida. Bienvenidos a la entrevista más especial de este Road to Isle of Light. Tenemos el privilegio de compartir en el programa con un personaje sin igual del headliner de todo el festival. Con nosotros está Chris Kilmore de Incubus.
Hey.
Hi, Chris. What do you got from what I just said?
And we're coming down to play your big festival.
Oh, there you go.
And I'm from the band Incubus.
That's all you got.
I mean, that was pretty much it. You're not bad.
Chris, thank you very much for giving us this time. We're so glad to have you here. And I want to start with this question. So, when are you going to admit that you are the luck of Incubus? Like, before you got into the band, they were only selling 50 albums per week, and you got into, and now, out of the sudden, like a global band. Tell us about that. Tell me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, no, you are not wrong at all. You are not wrong at all. I used to say that all the time, so you must have read that somewhere.
There you go. I did.
Yeah. When we started, when I got in the band in 1998, we were selling about 50 records a week on SoundScan, and we were playing, bars, 45 seaters, and maybe little clubs, some supporting for someone else, and once in a while we'd hop on a festival. And then by 99 we were up to 500 records a week, and by 2000 we were up to 5,000 records a week, and it just kept going up. So
do you think that's the reason why they won't let you go?
Yeah, they won't let me go. I'm trapped. They got me in jail.
Do you need help? Do you need someone to rescue you or something?
Yeah, I do. Maybe we can arrange that when I get there.
Yeah, we can make a whole plan. Where's Chris? He disappeared, and then you're at the beach.
He's gone.
Right.
He's gone.
We can totally do that.
They'll find me on a beach in Punta Cana or something.
That's far from the capital, because the festival is right in the center of the city, in the heart of DR. So yeah, you could be a bit far. That could be great.
So what's the reason you guys are coming to DR? Is it for the women or
the drinks or the beaches? Now that you mentioned Punta Cana.
Well, it was 2/3 of what Biggie said. The women and the weed. Oh, the women and the weather.
I mean, I have to tell you, it's not that good, the second one, Been there, have tasted.
I know it gets hot. No, we all jokes aside, we're super excited to come down there. It starts off our South American tour. So it's going to be really fun to play music. And, we've been playing music for so long that now we have to find the fun in it to keep going. And we found that. So,
and this is the first time you come to the DR, to the Dominican Republic. It's incredible. It's just a lost island in the Caribbean. Do you even know where it is in the map?
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
you do? Are you for real, or is it just because of the interview?
Are you being nice to us right now?
Yeah, you've been nice to. I think you've been nice to us.
It's okay.
No, I know where it is. I know where it is. In another lifetime, I used to date a Dominican girl.
Oh, no. I'm really sorry for you, Chris.
Are you okay?
Well, I ended up marrying a German girl. Let's just say that.
Oh my, he went the opposite. Oh my God, he hate us. I won't judge. I understand. I'm sorry you got through that. I'm really sorry, Chris.
Yeah.
I think we can have the interview now.
No.
Yeah, thank you for it.
We're sorry.
I'm joking.
I would say I'm traumatized, but in a good way.
Oh no.
I'm so sorry. That is a common occurrence, apparently.
No, I'm just joking. But yeah, I have a little experience with the DR for sure.
Awesome.
So we're having this interview with you only, and I know there is an unwritten rule for you guys that when the other ones cannot make it to an interview, it's because they have diarrhea. So that means
explosive diarrhea.
Explosive diarrhea. Is that a fact? So they're having all a collective and massive diarrhea all together, holding hands in the bathroom, having a huge ass shit.
Yeah, you don't want to see the rehearsal room right now.
Oh no.
That is so crazy. I love that excuse. I think we have to use that one as
Yeah,
well.
we definitely have
we are
to.
missing. Sorry, we're stealing that, Incubus.
Right? When someone's late or they're sick, or they just forgot to show up or something like that, then they're subject to whatever ailment we choose.
Yeah,
if we're doing that from now on, I have to tell you that someone had really hard problems with her stomach, almost a daily.
Are you talking about yourself?
No,
because you don't have a. Sorry,
this is everyday thing.
Yeah, sorry. It's
Anyways,
just we bully each other live. That's how it is.
Yeah, we just hate each
But
other.
we are here to talk about Incubus. You guys had an amazing week. Like, you were in Chile recently, and you were in Viña del Mar. How was the whole experience? How was that Latin American crowd? We saw interviews. We saw the performance. Everyone was so in it. How did you feel going to Chile in this amazing performance?
Yeah, we've been to Chile a bunch of times, and it's one of our biggest markets. And Latin Americans, they love rock and roll. They're passionate about their music. So it's one of our favorite places to go. To just to be straight, flat, honest, it's amazing.
And we know that Viña del Mar, the festival, they call it. The crowd, they call it the monster. I think that's how
it's
that's
the
how they call it.
toughest crowd in Latin America because they are not.
Like 2 days before you guys went to the stage to that festival, a comedian from Venezuela had the worst nightmare he could ever have. It was
I didn't hear about that.
It was atrocious.
It was awful. Like the next day after his performance, they went off light of electricity of energy on right. Chile the whole day, and they were all saying that the main reason why that happened was because of how bad his routine was, and it wasn't that bad.
Poor
but
guy.
The crowd is really difficult.
Yeah.
It wasn't for you guys,
right? No. Chile loves our music. We love them, and we've been down there a bunch of times. So, for us, it's just so much fun. The first time we went down there, we had no clue what to expect. I don't remember what year this is, but I would say this is mid 2000s, maybe early 2000s. And when we landed, we could see the fans outside of the airport from the plane. We were still on the plane.
Wow.
And we had no clue. Yeah, we had no clue what to expect. And we ended up playing at this little soccer arena. And I think altogether there was about 40,000 people there. Wow. And for us at that time was like the biggest concert we've ever played.
Wow.
And we're talking about
in Latin America,
like 20 what?
24 years ago, maybe? 20?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Yeah, I would say they called it a festival. So there was a couple bands on it, but we were obviously the headline. I can't remember the exact count, but it was like 38 to 40,000.
Wow.
And we were just in shock. We weren't ready for that.
Wow.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. If there's one person, 10, 100,000, 10,000, we perform the same way.
But let's be honest, having less people there make it a little bit more intimate in a way.
Yeah, it makes it more intimate. Obviously the energy, isn't as high because, there's not as many people there. But for us, it's actually a little more nerve-wracking because there's more attention to detail, especially when your mom's in the crowd. It's like your mom's there. Like, you don't want to mess up when your mom's watching.
Right. I was going to ask you if your mom was going to be there.
Yeah, I was going to ask, is your mom coming also with you now?
No. My mom does not like to travel very much.
But has she ever seen you live? And what was her reaction after seeing you perform the first time?
Oh yeah, she thought I was crazy. She's seen me at my worst and at my best. When I was in middle school is when I started to learn how to DJ. And I would stay up all night and just make weird sounds on the turntables, and she would be like, "What are you doing?" And in high school, she used to come in to wake me up to go to school, and I was up all night practicing. So she'd be like, "What are you doing?" She thought I was crazy. Now she gets it. Years and years later, she gets it.
So you were born in Pennsylvania. What the heck were you doing at LA? How did you
get from Pennsylvania to LA?
Long story short, I went to school in DC, George Washington University, and I graduated with a radio, TV, and film degree.
Oh wow.
So I was like, well, let's go to Hollywood.
So in terms of titles, let's say you're ready to do this show all by your own.
Oh, I could do the show on my own.
There you go.
Yeah, it wouldn't be as pretty. It definitely would not be fun. It'd be me running tracks of everybody else, and you seeing me scratch a little bit.
Bro, I would pay for it.
Yeah,
What are you
we'll
talking
pay for
about?
that,
Like,
actually,
like,
that would be a great show. It would be really interactive if you take commissions or submissions. You would be like, share me some too.
I'd have to put cardboard cutouts of the other band members, and just put
You in the middle,
just put a light on them. Yeah.
How would you call it, dude? If you had a radio show, how would you call it?
Oh, geez, I don't know. I have no clue. If I had a radio show, I'd say it'd be called "In the Clouds with Kill."
Okay.
Okay.
In the clouds with Kale. That's
Okay.
amazing. So how you got to LA? I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
Oh, so yeah. So basically, I graduated, and I had a classmate that we both were in the same curriculum, and we made a pact our freshman year to be just like, if we get through this, let's go to California. That's what happened. We did it. And when I got to California, I was broke and had no money, but I had my turntables and my records. And I started just being a production assistant on movies and films and things like that. I got an internship with a music director, and the whole entire time I was DJing at night. And
This is 1998, let's say, right?
what's that?
Is it 1998, 97, let's say, right?
No, this has been 1995.
95.
End of 1995, 96.
Okay.
Yeah. So then I was DJing, and obviously I was trying to juggle a film music career with DJing and just trying to pay the bills and rent, you know,
Trying to
typical
survive.
Hollywood,
Trying to make it.
typical actor, musician story. And yeah, I was in a DJ crew, and a couple different bands in LA saw me and asked me to join their bands. And I just had an open mind and said, yeah. So I was in a few little bands in LA, local bands, and that kind of led me to Incubus. Then that's a whole another crazy story.
Wow.
And yeah, and that's kind of how it is. It's just being in the right place at the right time and having an open mind to change your course of direction on a dime.
Insane. Your life changed in a time frame of 3 years, 4 years. It's crazy.
It's just crazy. It is insane.
Yeah.
Did you-
Really, it changed when I got with Incubus, and that was really quick. They called me on I think it was a Friday, and by Tuesday, we were on tour. I went through a tryout process, and then it was really funny. So I'll tell you the story real quick. Friday, they called me. I'm sitting in a little apartment, and I'm just traveling to work, and I'm dating a Dominican girl.
Oh,
And
no!
she
Okay, wait a sec.
We'll have to stop
it's,
there.
She is the one that made Incubus fucking famous. You own us. You own this country. Let's be honest. Let's be fair. That's the reality. I'm just saying.
well, I tell you, she was definitely not too happy with me. So Thursday night, I remember she wanted to go back to Queens. She's from Queens. So I was like, okay, we can do it. I can DJ in New York, just like LA, because I'm struggling. And then Friday morning, the lawyer for Incubus calls me, and he's like, hey, do you want to try out with this band, basically? And I was like, sure, they'll give me some money to go back to the East Coast if I make the band. So Saturday, I tried out. Sunday was Valentine's Day. They wanted to rehearse, and I was like, you don't understand. I'm dating a Dominican girl from Queens. She's a redheaded Scorpio, and I cannot practice today. I gotta practice on Monday. So they were like cool about it. They were like, hey, can you learn 10, 11 songs on Monday because we leave for tour on Tuesday? And I was like, I just said yes. I didn't know if I could do it or not. I just said yes.
What?
And so
What happened with
so
the Dominican
Tuesday-
girl? That's all I want to know.
I'll get to that.
Okay.
I'll get
Okay,
to that.
great. We
So-
love it. We love it. Go ahead.
So Tuesday, we leave for tour, and it's supposed to be 5 days or 5 shows up the West Coast. And we did it. Everything was cool. I come back, and like 3 days later, they're like, "Do you have a passport?" And I was like, of course I do. And they're like, we want to use you as our DJ. And so that year, that was, February, it was mid-February, obviously around Valentine's Day. And that year we did 305 shows.
Oh my God.
And so my life went from seeing that girl every day to not seeing her for a year.
Poor
So
girl.
that was the end right there.
Obviously, that was
that
the end.
relationship.
Oh my God. This is so sad for her. I know you're famous and rich now, but the poor girl, like, do we know anything about her right now? We don't?
Yeah. Sadly, no longer she's with us. Yeah. That's a sad story. But she got married, met another person, got married, had a kid, and she had a good life. Yeah.
Okay, that's important.
Okay. Well,
a Dominican Scorpio. Wow, you were in it.
He was.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. So technically.
So that's the connection.
Yeah,
there
definitely.
you go. Technically, Incubus saved you. Yeah, in a way. Anyways, so let's talk about music.
Yes.
So how it got into your head being part of a rock band? What the hell? Like going from DJing to how did that happen?
So I was in a DJ crew. So we would set up a bunch of turntables and mixers on a row, and we would just go battle other DJ crews. So we were kind of like a band. One person would take the drums, another person would take a bass line, another person would take a melody, and somebody would scratch on top of it, and there'd be like 5 of us lined out in a row, looking at another DJ crew, being like, "What's up?" and just battling. And it just kind of a natural progression. I just was like, "We're like a band. We are a band, but we just have all turntables."
Yeah.
And so that was kind of like, okay, this is kind of cool. And there were a couple other DJs just starting out with bands. Like you had Head P had DJ Product in it. Who else was there? There was Sugar Ray had DJ Homicide. So these were the DJs that you didn't really hear about. They were just starting to come up there in the late 90s.
Wow.
And in LA, that we're in the music scene, so you're starting to see that a little more and more. And a few bands approached me, and I was just like, well, why not? Well, I'm already in like a DJ band. So, I was in 3 other bands in LA while I was doing my battle crew, while I was production assisting and sample library organizing with this music producer. So I was just doing everything. And the band thing actually led me to Incubus. I was in a band that got signed to Columbia for a demo deal.
Wow.
But the way it went down was really shady. The A&R guy that the manager brought in basically took over the band, fired the manager, and wanted just the 2 singers to sign the record deal and not the band. It was shady.
It was a shady era too as well.
I mean,
yeah. So I ended up calling up that manager and saying, "Hey man, I want to let you know I didn't have any part in this. Like I didn't even know what was going on, and I know that you're the guy that kind of like got the band to this level." So like 3 months later, it turns out that he was the best friend of the lawyer of Incubus. So like 3 months later, he calls me and says, "Hey, you still DJing? You should try out for this band."
Wow.
And that's what led me to being in Incubus. It was kind of, I'm a nice guy. I don't like to, F anybody over, like I'm not trying to steal your light or get in your lane. I'm just trying to be in my lane and do my thing. And, so that I think that phone call that I made to him actually, made him remember me and call me later.
Yeah, it's a special touch feeling like, the whole thing, how it went down and how shady it was, that you were responsible and you actually went up to him and were like, hey, dude, no bad feelings. I wasn't part of it. I wanted to ask, you seem
Right.
really chill. Like, seriously, this interview has been really awesome. And does the dynamic, is the dynamic the same with the band? You guys have been together for years. It's a marriage at this point. How is
Yeah.
the energy within not only the creative side, but also the personal side?
Yeah, it's being in bands like marriage without the sex. It's exactly the same. The relationship goes through strain and it goes through pleasure, but we're all chill. We're all, friendly people. We're not aggro in any way, and when we're together, it's just, it's like if you were a fly on the wall, you'd just be laughing the whole time. We're always telling jokes, we're making fun of each other, and we're going through life in a crazy, weird bubble. We're really good friends. Sometimes we're best friends, and sometimes we just need a break. But everybody goes through that.
Of course.
And we get to play music, which we all love, and we get to share it with the world. And we travel everywhere, all over the world, doing it. So
it's amazing.
It might be the best job in the world.
It probably is.
It
So,
is.
so how did your expertise and your thing help Incubus sound? How do you think where can we find Chris on Incubus?
Well, I would say the first record that I wrote with the guys was Make Yourself.
Wow.
So I was touring on the Science record, but in Make Yourself is where I kind of came in and did my thing. And the guys let me, they were just like, they had to bear with me because back in the day, we didn't have, digital turntables or anything like that. We were all using vinyl. So I was like trying to be a Foley artist. So I had a whole sound library of weird sounds and things that I've collected through travels and things like that. But I had to get them pressed up on a record. And back in the day, we were always moving. So as soon as we came off tour, we'd go to the rehearsal room and start writing a record. But it took time to get the records pressed up. So it took about 2 weeks to get a test pressing. And on that test pressing is just weird sounds. And they're just like, what? They're not understanding the life of a DJ yet. They're not sure what's going on. But they're taking that 2 weeks and writing music. And I'm in there using like sounds, sampled sounds that we're not going to use on the record. And I'm trying to say, well, in 2 weeks, we're going to do this and we're going to try to do this and that. And they were cool. They would be like, okay, we'll leave 16 bars here to do this. And okay, we'll leave you 8 bars in this song to do this. And they left these gaps and didn't finish the songs until I was caught up with them. And so then there's a bunch of songs on there like Privilege, has a whole little drum loop with the scratch break in it. There's Pardon Me, has the scratch, the drive beats a loop with the scratching on it. And then obviously we have a song called Battlestar Galactica on it. And that's just the whole entire scratch song.
Literally,
So,
it's the whole instrumental scratch song. It's so fun. I mean, I know that it came from a jamming kind of session because you guys had a recording. But how does that creative part start now? Because, for example, technology is different now. You don't have to wait 2 weeks to have a vinyl pressed, for example. But it would be interesting to see how now that creative process with the technology has changed.
Well, now it's led me to actually, a lot of the samples were synthesizers and keyboards. So now I've kind of incorporated that whole world. So my rig is now turntables and a bunch of keyboards.
I love your face when you say that. You look like a kid, having all your tools, all your toys.
Right. I have like a big old spaceship cockpit on stage, and I'm doing all this kind of stuff that nobody kind of really knows what you're doing because I'm always just sitting in one spot and doing my thing. But it's like, there's a lot of stuff I'm doing, and there's a lot of glue that's making the songs stick together and things like that. And, Make Yourself was really, the guys let me shine. And, I came in and did my thing, and I think we made a great record together. And then each record from there just kind of evolved, And now we were just working on some music before the end of the year. And we kind of like worked on a few songs, like, you know, we're in the rehearsal studio working on a few songs, getting them to a certain point, but then we went into the studio and then we also just on the fly made a bunch of songs. So, you know, technology has helped my world move faster for sure, but it's also like, you know, it's made the recording process also a lot faster.
Of course. You know, you've been playing with the band for almost 30 years. It's three years to be 30, right?
Yeah.
And
Right.
playing most likely the same songs, because when you got into the band went global. It was insane. Do you guys change the songs during the performances? Do you have the freedom to do wherever you want during while you're playing? Because I think you might get bored of playing the same songs for almost 30 years, right?
Yeah. We still rehearse, you know, a bunch before the tours, and in that rehearsal process, we're always changing the songs and kind of like just adding little touches to them and making them ours. And I would say that kind of happened more when Ben Kenny got in the band, because he would play all kinds of different bass lines live. Like on purpose. Like he'd look at you and then just throw in a reggae song in the middle of like Pardon Me or something and smile and then go right back into the bass line. And he would do things, real subtle things like that. And I think that influenced the band enough that now, you know, we're not so married to the recording of the song.
Of course.
We're just kind of married to the energy and the vibe of the song.
That's amazing. You get creative every time. It's insane.
I want to see it live now.
Just a week, girl.
We throw covers in the middle of some songs. You know, we'll play a song and end on a note that starts another weird random instrumental or something. Sometimes, you know, it's all totally whatever we want to do. You know, as long as it passes the filter test of all of us, then you know.
Have you done something live that hasn't passed the filter test of you all?
Oh yeah, we've done that before.
No. How was that conversation?
Yeah, usually, you know, if we play something that doesn't go over, we all know it immediately. We kind of look at each other, but what's worse is the crowd just stops and they kind of look at us. And that's how you know.
You're like, oh man, I ruined.
Yeah, the crowd is the filter test.
Well, what are you preparing for the Dominican Republic? What are the expectations around this island and this crowd?
Well, you know, like I said, it'll be our first show of this tour. We have been playing some shows. Obviously, we're just in Chile and everything, so we're pretty, you know, up to speed and everything. So for us, you know, we want to do our best. We want to put on a great show, and it's our first time there, so we want to leave there feeling like we did our job, and we have a bunch of new fans, and you know, we've made a good connection with the country, and they made a good connection with us, and hopefully it's enough that we can come back.
Well, they will be all
Let's
crazy.
hope. You don't understand the passion that the Dominican community has for Incubus. Like, people are going crazy. It's not even joking. Everyone's just expecting it. A lot of people are just like, I just want to see Incubus. This is a long time dream, and it is such a blessing for us to actually see you guys here in our country, because, you know, a lot of big artists, we have to fly internationally to see, but actually being able to enjoy it here, we hope you feel the same passion that we actually feel for the band, but, you know, for it to be received.
Yeah, I have no doubt we will. I'm super stoked to come down there.
Yay!
Well, then, thank you very much, Chris, for this time. I'm really grateful for you and for all the band for deciding to come to the Dominican Republic. We're gonna have a blast.
Yes.
And I really hope you had a good time in this interview.
Yeah, it was fun.
Thank you very much.
All right, you guys take care.
A hug. It was Chris from Incubus in Radio Bizarro. Stay tuned.